Okay, well, good morning, good afternoon, good whatever it is that you're having today, and welcome to Transformation Tuesday for December 19th, 2023. Let's take a deep breath in here and get into like this moment right here, right now. Yes. And let me tell you a little bit about paradigm shifters there. Welcome. And we've been on this journey of paradigm shifters since March 2020. Yeah. And this is where we come to you with speakers that help us shift and uplift the planet. We are a growing, global, glowing community dedicated to that purpose, this upliftment. How's that sound, you guys? Pretty good? All right. So,
Awesome.
awesome. There you go. As we continue our journey of December 2023, we're our topic this month has been opening our gifts. And today we're going to be discussing opening the gift of peace. So we all desire some kind of peace in our lives. And the most important road to peace, I feel, is having partners who believe in you and in the principles that lead to peace and to this peace in a life well lived. So we're joined today with my partners in believing, or as some people say, mastermind partners, Lynn Tranchell and Christi Corradi, and we've been doing this for about 9 or 10 years. But before I introduce you to them, let me tell you a little bit about what partners in believing, kind of the idea. So what we're doing today is we're going to learn how to build a bigger believing that's in harmony with the dream that you all have for your lives. And it's one of the most powerful teaching in this process and principles that we have. And it just requires us to not do it alone. And a partner in believing is a person in your life who could support you in your belief when your belief is faltering, or who you could support in the same way. Now, as your believing power grows, you allow more ideas. That's the beautiful thing about coming together. More and more ideas come to you that are on that frequency of who you are. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to introduce to you my two partners in believing who came in here. It is our 9th or 10th, we can't quite remember that, year in weekly meetings. And we've been consistent, and we've been with each other and our businesses through thick and thin, health challenges, family issues, businesses, ups and downs, you name it. So I want to introduce you first, Lynn Tranchell from Buffalo. I love it. Now, Lynn is with over 3 decades of experience helping business leaders achieve their goals. Lynn is a true master of the science of success. Lynn has a passion for helping entrepreneurs achieve better results with less effort so they can learn more and enjoy a fun, fulfilling life at the same time. Yes. And Lynn also is a licensed Unity teacher. And I feel like for the three of us, Lynn adds this groundedness in truth in our sessions. We all do, but that's the way I view Lynn. So welcome, Lynn. There you go.
Thanks for having me. This is great, great fun.
Oh, this is so important. And then Christi Corradi in the house.
In the house.
Come from us. I'm in the Central Time Zone, which it's usually 10 o'clock here. Lynn is in Eastern Time Zone. And Christi Corradi is on the West Coast. And she comes in waking up with her cup of coffee. And we've all come to know and love Jerry, who delivers her coffee. We say good morning to him.
Good morning. It's so nice to be here. We usually do this on a conference call, and so we don't often see each other. So
I don't know. I haven't seen you guys in ages.
Yeah.
Let me tell you a little bit about Christi Corradi. I love saying your name, Christi. it's not just Christi, it's Christi Corradi in the house. So Christi is a unique combination of intuitive artist, certified life coach, and registered art therapist. She's an inspiring, insightful, dynamic international speaker who has shared the stage with Michael Beckwith, Dr. Michael Beckwith, Mary Morrissey, and Dan Millman. And so I just want to tell you that, right here in this group here, we have authors and creatives. And Lynn's authored I don't know how many books this year, 3 or more. And Christi is the author of Beyond the Box and The Creative Way in 5 Minutes a Day. And that's a vision-driven program to awaken creative thinking with a daily practice. She is creator of Tangible Tools for Success. But one thing we know that she's a paradigm-busting dynamo. Who makes
Thank you.
but yeah. Okay. So I want to begin, now let's see. I want to begin with our why. Okay. So why is it? I'm gonna go Christi, Lynn, me. I think I explained my why. And let's start with Christi. Want to come in here and talk about why we are a partner? Why should we even want that?
Well, like you said, we were not put on this planet with billions of other people to have to do it all alone. And sometimes being an entrepreneur is often considered a solopreneur. And I know I don't want to be an island. I'm an extreme extrovert, and I actually get a lot of my benefit from bouncing ideas off of other people, of also getting amazing support. I mean, we've all gone through, it's been 10 years, and we've all gone through ups and downs. And I'll tell you, I can always depend on showing up Monday morning and getting whatever support I need. And also it keeps me living in principle, because I start my week every week with us grounding in principle and supporting each other from that place.
There you go. Awesome. And then Lynn, who's on the other side of the country, she comes in. And what is your why? Why would you want to be doing this on a consistent basis, especially with us?
Yeah, it is all really about support and being able to. Actually, I see it as a 3-phase. Partners in believing. You have somebody who believes in you when you have a hard time believing in yourself. And then there's the mastermind. We very often come up with great ideas to support each other when we're trying something new or having a challenge. And then the third part is the accountability. Christi writes down every week what we say we're going to do. I write it down too, so I can look it over. And like this week, the accountability is important too. Like this week, Christi said to me, "Is that all you're doing this week?" Or something like that. Or ask for clarification when you say, "I'm going to be doing this." What does that mean? How are you going to do that? So it's those 3 phases that are really important for our Monday morning calls in my eyes.
Amen. Amen. And I think when we first started, we chose Monday because it's the beginning of the week and it puts us in action. So let's switch over to this how. Now, people say, yes, how do you do it? And we've kind of like gelled and come up with this system that we do. And if it's okay with you guys, we're going to put on a little partner in believing thing. Is that okay? One of the things I feel is very important is to start with a prayer and end with a prayer. In other words, for me at least, that whatever we do between the prayers, it's sacred. What's done is done. So let's take a deep breath in here. And anybody watching, you're welcome to, come in with us. Or we're going to just believe with us, because we're also believing in you as well. So, okay, it's 10 o'clock. And Lynn goes, hello, this is Lynn. And I usually go, well, it is December 18th, 2023, Partners in Believing. Um, Lynn, come and pray us in.
Yeah. So, and I always close my eyes because I never know what I am going to say. And sometimes I'm traveling and Judy says, Lynn, pray us in. It's like, I'm driving. I can't do that. Somebody else is going to have to do it for me. So I just
'Cause we
close
don't
my
want
eyes.
her closing her eyes.
No, not while I'm driving, because even with a prayer, that could be dangerous. So I just close my eyes and say, sweet and loving Spirit, as we get together as partners in believing this week, let us just know that we are in the right place at the right time, doing the right things and sharing our gifts in the world so that we can create a space that is in alignment with ourselves and everybody else we talk to. And so it is. Amen.
So
And I had no idea what I was going to say. I closed my eyes and
Spirit speaks.
whatever.
I love it. And right after that, we go into something that we've kind of coined our prouditudes. I don't know how we did. You know, it's a combination of gratitude and what we're proud of for this past week. So then I usually say, Lynn, how about some prouditudes?
Yeah, and I actually do this with all my coaching clients. I start every coaching call with prouditudes because it puts you in a different place. So today I am grateful for it snowed a little bit. It's not going to last for Christmas, but it's nice to see the white stuff out there. It's only this much, but I am grateful that we saw some seasonal weather here, and I am proud that I went out and shoveled. Because even though it's going to melt, I need to be out there and walking around today.
Nice, nice.
And how about you, Christi Corradi?
Let's see. I am grateful. Well, I'm going to say this morning, I'm grateful for my partners in believing that I get the support every week to whether I'm up or down, and I have my ups and my downs. And I'm proud that I'm proud that I've been setting up my art studio and really getting that going. So yeah. And how about you, Judy?
I love it. Christi always asks me that. Well, I'm really grateful that before this, I got out and walked over by the water because I had that on my list and I have not been doing it. So I'm glad that before this call, I was over by the water. And I am so proud that I'm going to have a birthday celebrating 12 years of my coaching. And I decided to do that. And it's done and done. So then we go, so there's our little prouditudes. And then we go, Lynn, back to you. And since Christi has been taking these copious notes for 10 years, right? Mm-hmm. You will usually say what we had said we were going to do last week. And so, Lynn, you want to go ahead and report anything, and then I'll tell you what, you can ask for anything you want from this group. So go ahead, Lynn. Sorry about that.
Yeah, so between yesterday and today, I have been investing because one of the things on my list is to have more speaking opportunities. So I did reach out to some people today about speaking, and one of the calls I was on this morning, somebody invited me to be on his webinar. So I did that. I also want to mention, Christi, when it's your turn, how many booklets do you have of all of our notes? You must have a dozen or so more. Yep. So between yesterday and today, I did reach out and for speaking, I did, I'm going to be posting this afternoon about my Whimsical Wednesday. Those are both on my list. And that's all I've done well, it's not all I've done. I don't want to minimize because I did things between yesterday and today.
And then we go into, okay, what would you love to have us hold for this week for you?
Yeah, just hold that more speaking opportunities. My goal is to speak at least once a week, either in person or online. Depending on where it is, I can travel. So that's what I'm doing these days. I am speaking.
And so one of the things that we might do here is help her refine this. So in order to do that, how many calls do you want to make this week? Or reach?
Yeah, I am going to reach out to one organization a day.
One a day. Right.
All right.
Yeah.
And then we go, so it is. And one of the cool things I want to just, pause here is we keep this sometimes a half an hour, 45 minutes at the most, because we are successful, busy coaches, and we have, this is like sacred time. So that's what I mean. If it needs more, then we'll take it. But that's the conciseness of it. So then I'm going to pass it over to, how about you, Christi Corradi?
Well, the other thing that I really like about documenting this each week is that sometimes I forget to look at my list, and so, or I sometimes capture things that I hear the others saying, and it's kind of like a reminder, like, oh, you said you were going to exercise last week. How did that go? So that's kind of some of the accountability. And one of the things that happened to me this week was there was two things on my list that I totally didn't pay attention to. I just turned 65 and I am working on the Medicare thing, and I forgot to take care of that last week. So that's another really great thing, which I did do yesterday. I worked on both the Medicare and the business plan for my travel programs. And so now next week when we come on, it'll be, well, it's Christmas next week. So we're going to wait until New Year's Day. And I get to say, oh yeah, I did that, and celebrate. We celebrate with each other two of our accomplishments. So
Thanks. Then,
and then I say, Judy, how about you?
and sometimes I have a giant list. I don't mean giant list. One of the things I like is that when it's repeated back to me, I remember things that I did that I forgot I did.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's a boost with that reflection. It's like, oh yeah, I did do that. And then I come prepared with a list I would love to have you guys hold. I'm not going to go over the whole thing with you guys, but that's it. One of the things that, another thing that when I'm saying things, I will say things like, or one of us will catch each other's words. Because one thing is, we have been coaches in masterminding for almost 10 years or more. And so when we want it, Lynn sometimes will say, or Christi will say, you might want to reframe that.
Mm-hmm.
And so we catch each other in our up leveling of our words. So, and one of the things I want to emphasize is not always about just getting through the list. Many times we have had like chaos, crisis, or whatever in our lives where we come together, and that's what we're about. And it's not necessarily just this short time. We'll text and check up on each other as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, for this week, it's to promote this birthday celebration I'm having on the 28th, as well as, getting ready for Christmas, I'm speaking here, there, and that it reminds me that you two are going to be asking me about it at next week, which is so important for me. Okay, so then at the end, we go, okay, is that it for everybody? And we go, yep. And then Lynn, would you pray us out, and we'll get going on our week.
Okay. So again, I'm closing my eyes, and whatever comes to me, comes to me. Sweet and loving Spirit, as we go forth this week as partners in believing, let us hold each other in that space of infinite possibilities, and let us see each other living each day from that possibility, and also having a wonderful Christmas wherever, whatever you do to celebrate the holidays. And so it is. Amen.
And
So
so it is.
we hang up and we're on our way. But there's something about just taking that time, and we're going to talk now about some benefits. All right. So we went on our whys. We just showed you kind of an example of it. It is so weird to see you guys' actual faces. I don't mean that they look weird, but I just don't ever see you, which is so cool because sometimes it'll be snowing in Buffalo and it's like, what's going on the West Coast? Okay, and now we're going to talk about any benefits that we've gotten over the years and why you would suggest this to other people to do it.
Well, I will tell you, I find one of the biggest benefits is that sometimes I doubt myself. And these people here every Monday morning show up believing in me and also help me get clarity because these are people that teach the principles. And therefore, I know that when I'm getting coached, if you will, by them or supported by them, that it comes from principle and it's not circumstantial based. And I have been at crossroads several times. I tend to be that like, okay, what's next kind of person and shiny object kind of person. And I can show up and go, this week I'm just not feeling clear, or this week I'm thinking about doing this. And so if it's I think one of the biggest benefits and what you want to do when you create your own partners in believing is make sure that these are not the gossip gobbers, or that they're not also going to buy into the circumstances with you. You want to choose people that are really there to see the highest and best and the truth about you, and to always come from that. And so I think that's one of the huge benefits. Yes, as Lynn said, the accountability and everything, but I find it's my spiritual inner circle. Yeah.
Yeah, and very often, because I work out of my house, even all of my coaching is on Zoom, so I don't get out and about that much. So just having people there that can reflect back to me what I'm saying and up level what I'm saying to make it even better than I could imagine. That is really a big benefit for me being because I am a solopreneur. I do have somebody helping with social media. It's mostly me, and my days are mostly me, except when I'm on Zoom. Every now and then I do attend an in-person meeting, but it's just knowing that every Monday morning I'm going to have a conversation with people that really do believe in the biggest and the best for me. And then getting back to that accountability, it's like, I know that I am going to have to say I'm doing something this week, and I'm going to have to do what I say I'm going to do. And that is also another big factor for me.
Oh, you guys are
And
so
Judy, what about you? What do you see the benefits as?
I thank you, Christy, for asking. You know what is a benefit for me is lifelong friendships. Lifelong friendships. And both of you know my families. I mean, you know them inside and out. And when I see Lynn, I remember Niagara Falls with Jody and you and I, partners in believing, going down. And you've done Time Machine with Jody.
Mhm.
And Christy and her son, we've known each other since we got these awards. Look at this. Remember this?
Yes.
Christy and I got the Dream Builder Achievement
Mine's up
Award
there.
in 2014. And
Yeah,
it was,
mine's up there.
we weren't even partners in believing at the time, but it was like, okay, how do we maintain this momentum? Because I'll tell you what, I was ready to crash and burn after that one and quit my job. And we've quit jobs, we've all that. So I'm going to say lifelong. Uh, all the players in the game of my life.
Mhm. And I wanted to point that out too. This is not just about business. We support each other in things going on in our personal lives, in our family. Like I said, I mentioned exercise. I mean, I went through a major surgery in June, and there was, I knew these two women had my back. The ha ha ha, it was back surgery. Had my back the whole time, and I know that my healing through that healing journey that I was on, it was speedy, it was easy, and I know part of it is that these women were holding that truth for me as I went through that. So and I'm a traveler, so we're all travelers, and
Yeah.
we often do our calls from anywhere in the world, and it really makes it's grounding no matter where we are.
Well, thank you so much for being here. And I love that we're in this December on this journey, right? And
Mm-hmm.
one of the things, Christi takes people on journeys. I think you're going to Italy,
Mm-hmm. My next trip is in April to Italy.
which is part of her practice. And we're all on this journey together. And it's the journey for the gift of peace. So let's take a deep breath in here. And knowing that everyone in this globe, everyone in Paradigm Shifters, we are in a journey for this inner peace and inner light into what we are here to do and be and have and become, mostly become. All right. Well, so as we end this phase and go into the next week, our next is the gift of joy. And what a better way to lead into that. So thank you so much for being here. Is there anything, and as Paradigm Shifters, we're holding space for you. What would you love to have us hold for you? Lynn, what would you love? And we're going to shoot it over to Buffalo.
I think I would love you to hold that Christmas Eve, I go with my daughter, and Christmas Day, I have family, other obligations, just that everybody in my visits for the holiday has fun and enjoys each other and supports each other in every way they can.
All right, you ready? And so it is. Here you go. We're going to send it over to Buffalo. Get ready, like, receive. All right, let's go to the West Coast. Christi, what would you love?
Mine's similar. My son and his wife will be doing brunch Christmas morning, opening presents and then having brunch together because my son works that afternoon. But just that during this time, that our family is supportive, loving, and kind to each other, which we are, but just like accelerated. And so if you hold that for me for this holiday season.
All right, here it comes.
I got it.
I love it. One of the principles, the gift of receiving. Yes.
Yeah. And Judy, how about you? What can we hold this week for you?
Oh, I would just love to enjoy the calm confidence of, not confidence, calm connectedness in peace, love for the entire planet, no matter what's going on, that we can be, that we and I am a part of the light that supports people. So many of my clients right now, they're, grieving, sorrow mode, and that we can be lights and hold everyone for that we're all together in this. We are all together no matter where we are, not just this week, but for the rest of the eternity and beyond.
Hey, here we go. Sending that out to Judy. Woo!
All right. Well, thank you so much for being here, and I love you guys, and we will.
Love you too.
Love you too.
Okay. Happy holidays.
Amen.
Yes.
There we go.